Hello, welcome. Thank you for joining me and also Bob here today. I think Genghis is lurking off screen that he might come and pounce at some point. So I'm looking forward to guiding you through some different asanas to help energize the body, to stimulate the nervous system, and also to bring some relaxation to the mind. So, as always with everything, because you're at home practicing by yourself without a teacher, it's always important just to really use yourself as your own best teacher. So be guided if there's any discomfort or pain, either ease out of a position or come out of it altogether and do something else until it feels right to come and join in again. Remember that you can always use the resting pose, either sitting and focusing on the breathing or coming to the knees and allowing the hands to extend in what we call child's pose. So it's always good to listen to your own body, do what feels right for you. So we'll begin with the awareness of the breathing, just to help center and ground us. Now choosing your seated position and taking the flesh of the buttocks out and back. It doesn't have to be cross-legged. It may be legs extended, kneeling, or in a chair. So what feels right for you? We'll let the hands come to rest and closing the eyes with the little downwards tip of the nose. And as the eyes close, bringing the full conscious awareness to our breathing. And as we bring our awareness to our breathing, it helps to bring our mind into the present moment, grounding us in the here and now. So try not to alter your breath, but simply become the observer of how the breathing is. And as you begin to settle into observing the breath, you may find that it naturally does begin to slow down. And the thoughts begin to fall away, just like dust coming to settle in a room. Allow the face to soften, softening all around the eyes, loosening the jaw, and letting the shoulders soften down away from the ears. Allowing the legs and pelvis to also soften towards the floor. And then creating a gentle lift with the ribs away from the pelvis, just to create space and alertness through the central energetic system of the spine. You may begin to find that as you focus on the breath, it feels as though more areas of the body are being awoken. And the breath is expanding out to all the corners of the body. remembering if the mind begins to wander, just let the thought go again and come back to observing the breath. And we'll take 3 more steady breaths here with full conscious awareness upon the breathing. And once you've finished your 3 breaths, then joining the hands together in front of the body in prayer position. Allowing the head to bow forwards towards the fingers so the muscles through the back of the neck can lengthen. And whilst the head is forwards, you might like to use this time to create a positive intention for your day. So if you choose, taking a moment to focus upon that now in the mind. And then we'll let the hands come back to the thighs. Slowly restacking the head up so that it lines up with the rest of the spine. Let the eyes gently flutter open, creating a softness in your vision. And then from here we'll change the crossing of the legs, bringing the less usual leg in front. Unless if you're sitting in a kneeling position or with your legs out in front, you might prefer to change the position or stay as you are. This way we just bring an evenness so that the legs are across both with the same way. So we'll bring the fingertips in line with the tops of the thigh bones, drawing the navel back, letting the ribs lift without forcing the ribs forward. So there's a sense of upwards lift rather than forwards push. And then as you inhale, bringing the arms up. As the arms come up, softening the shoulders down the back, spreading the palms, spreading the fingers. And from here we're going to come into a twist. We'll be taking it to the right side. So twisting the body to the right, so the right hand comes behind the left hand to the right knee. Softening the shoulders from the ears, let the head gently turn round to follow the rotation of the spine, bringing a softness into the face, allowing the abdominals to relax so that the breath can still move smoothly and easily. If the mind begins to wander, take the focus back to the breath. It's always using the breath as an anchor to help to bring you into the present moment. We'll take 3 more steady breaths here. And then on an inhalation, raising the arms up, coming back to face towards the front, lifting the ribs up from the pelvis. And then as you exhale, turning to the left side, so the left hand comes behind, the right hand to the left thigh, gently rotating, softening the ribs around from right to left side, the shoulders relaxing away from the ears, the neck long, the face soft. Awareness on the steady flow of your breath. And we'll take 3 more slow, steady breaths here. After your 3rd breath, using the inhalation to return the body back towards the front, raising the arms up. And from here we're going to just gently flow from side to side in a lateral stretch. So bringing the left hand down, exhaling to the left, then inhaling to come up and exhaling to the right. So we'll just move from side to side, keeping the opposite side of the pelvis to which you're leaning well grounded, so it helps to really firm the pelvic floor muscles, creating stability there. And we finish off as we come again to the right side and let the body lengthen. And then we're going to bring the arms to shoulder level now. So if it's comfortable, going just a little bit back. This is a nice therapy for the joints through from the shoulders through to all the way down the wrists, opening the hands as well, and also great for the neck. So firstly, we just make sure the neck muscles are lengthening, so the nose slightly tips down. And then we're going to alternately turn the palms up, so we're pivoting the arms. So firstly, we're going to turn the left palm up and turn the head to look to the left palm. Now taking a deep breath in, as you exhale, left palm down, right palm up as you turn to look to the right palm. Deep breath in, exhale, turning again towards the left palm as the right palm goes down, left palm up. Deep breath in, exhale, pivot head, pivot hands. Breathing in, pivoting the head, pivoting the hands on the exhale. Deep breath in, exhale, one more time to pivot. And then bringing the head back to center as you turn the left palm up. Inhale, the arms up. Exhale, the arms down. Resting the hands upon the thighs. Taking a moment to rotate the shoulders. Loosening any tension in the shoulder area. And then we'll let the shoulders relax. And from here, we'll come into a kneeling position. So I'll just clear the mat. And we'll come onto the hands and knees. So I'll turn to the side. We're bringing the hips over the knees and the hands underneath the wrists. These movements are quite usual. I like to use them at the beginning of class to help warm up the body. So this really limbering up the spine here with our cat and cow. So start to move the top of the pelvis down to open the chest, open the throat, cow pose. Exhale, lifting the navel, let the head and neck release down into your cat pose. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. And one more time in both directions. Inhale. And exhale. Coming back to neutral, we'll now come to our downward dog at Muscovy, where we're going to move the hands a little bit further away from the knees, bringing the toes under and then lifting up, pressing the thighs firmly back. And you might like to walk the heels at this point, bending alternate knees, helping to create a bit of warmth through your hamstrings. Just really firming down through your inner hands and your inner feet, so that helps to keep an evenness through your wrists and your ankles. And then we'll let the heels be even, the thighs pressing back. Remember, if there's tightness in the hamstrings, you can always bend the knees a bit to help to release that. Also, if it's tight in the lower back. So just adapting to make it a comfortable, easeful position for you. Finding the steadiness of the breath. We're going to take 5 more breaths here. So mindfully feeling the lungs, finding the space through the body. Exhaling, finding the softness in the shoulders and the face. And once you've completed your 5 breaths, letting the knees come down, I'm just going to turn slightly. You can stay along the length of your mat, bringing the knees wide, extending the hands forward, softening the body down. So this was the extended child's pose that I was talking about at the beginning, which can always be used as a resting position. Just allow the hands to gently press the ground to lengthen the hips backwards, lengthening your lower back. Great position for helping to really calm your nervous system. And then we'll bring the shoulders forwards. And we're going to turn so that you can easily see from a kneeling position. And I have some blocks here today. So if you don't have any blocks and you wanted a bit of height under your hand, feel free to use a stable book, or also say like a can of beans or something, just to give you a little bit of height. So I'm going to put that just beside my right side, bringing the hands to the hips. So we're going to come to parivrtta, which is a gate pose. Going to bring the left foot forwards and then the knee out to the side so that the ankle and knee are lining up there. Now, if you're quite tight in the hip, you may prefer to keep your leg in a bent position. If you're okay with extending the leg, then we let the leg extend. Now, just using your visuals, I notice I often push my hip outwards. So we're just needing to find the place where the hip is over the knee. So we've got a stable line down, just like the column of a building. So with the extended leg, our left leg, we're flexing the toes back, seeing if you can find like a 45-degree angle, and imagining the top part of the foot and toes is pressing into an imaginary wall, releasing your left hip a little downwards. Now we're going to flow first with the breath, so we're going to bring our arms out to the side, starting by flowing to the left side. So bringing the left hand down, the right arm up and over if comfortable. Inhale, coming up. Exhale, coming to the right side. Inhale, coming up. And exhale to the left. So keeping the flowing going with the speed of your own breathing. And we'll finish over to the right side, and from here we'll come back up into an upright position, then taking the left hand to the leg, the right hand towards the ear, softening the shoulders, particularly that left shoulder which can scrunch into the ear. Let that soften down, let the elbows soften. Then using the press of your forefinger to gently roll your ribs from left to right side, softening the left side of your ribs towards the leg, finding length through both the left and right side of the body. Taking steady breaths, face soft and relaxed. We'll take 3 more steady breaths here. After your 3rd breath, using the inhalation to come back up into an upright position, windmilling over to the right side. If you haven't got a block, you could just use your hand into the right thigh or placing it on the right thigh, just whatever works to have something stabilizing. Gently rotating the ribs from right to left side, opening the left side of the ribs to the sky. Softness in the shoulders, soft in the face. Just finding the stillness with the breath. And we'll take 3 more breaths here. After your 3rd breath, using the inhalation to windmill up, standing tall through the body, and then bringing the arms down. So we'll just soften into that knee and bring the knee forwards and back underneath the hip. Excellent. And then we'll bring the right knee forwards, moving our block across to the left side of our hip, our body, opening our right knee outwards and then letting the leg extend, finding that 45 degree, but remember, if you prefer, you can keep your knee bent if you need. So we're pressing into the imaginary wall. Use the visuals. See, I always look down and find myself swaying out to this side. Just need to make sure that that's directly over the knee there. The lifting forwards through the hips, tail down, lower abdomen lifted. Standing tall through the torso, or rising tall, I should say. Inhale the arms out. Let the shoulders soften from the ears. Reach from the center of the heart through to the fingertips. And we'll flow again firstly with the breath. So first to the right side as you exhale. Inhale, coming up. Exhale to the left side. Inhale, coming up. Exhale to the right side. Inhale, coming up. Exhale to the left. Inhale, coming up. Exhale, right. Inhale up, and last time, coming to the left. Excellent. Now we're going to come to hold. So just making sure that the hips are moving a little forwards, tail down, abdomen lifted. Right hand coming to the leg, softening the right hip down. Pressing the finger to rotate the ribs from right to left side, reaching out through that right arm. Sorry, through the left arm. I'm reversing to make it easier. Sometimes the instructions don't reverse so well in my brain. So, taking some steady breaths, relaxing the face. Keeping the jaw and the face soft. And we'll take 3 more breaths here. And on an inhalation, coming back up, reaching across from the heart to the fingers, bringing the left hand down, reaching over through the right arm, revolving the right side of the ribs towards the sky, lengthening through that side of the body, shoulders soft, face and jaw relaxed. Just finding the steadiness of the breath to connect you fully to the body, fully to the now. And after 3 more steady breaths, we'll move again. So mindfulness across those 3 breaths. And once you're ready, inhaling up, bringing the hands down to the pelvis. We'll move that knee to bend, taking it forwards again, and then bringing the knee back down. And from here we'll go to downward dog. So I will turn, as that will make it a little easier. I'm just going to get you, if you're using some blocks, to move those to the front end of your mat now. Then grounding your hands down towards the floor, having your knees hip width apart, toes under, lifting up into downward dog, thighs pressing firmly back towards the wall behind you, shoulders softening away from the ears, letting the spine, the body, the torso lengthen, finding space through the sides of your body. So we're going to do a little movement coming into 3-legged dog to take each foot forwards one at a time. So if that feels a bit much for you, you might prefer the variation to come to your knees and move your foot forwards like so. So just going with what feels comfortable for you. Don't overstrain. We're going to be starting with the left side. So as you inhale, taking that leg up behind, still lengthening backwards, then using the momentum as you swing the knee towards the chest to step your left foot through. Bringing the knee over your ankle, we'll take our blocks in either side of the left foot, softening the chest down, lifting the head up, squeezing the tops of the thighs in towards the center line. From here we'll come into a twisting position. We'll move our right block a little closer to the inner left foot. Going to take the left hand to the left hip, and then we'll lift, twisting. So we're twisting to the leg that's forwards, opening the body to that side. If it's comfortable, raising the arm up. If there's any restriction in the shoulder, don't feel you have to raise the arm up. Just finding the breath again. Try not to hold the breath. Sometimes with our twists we do. Keeping the breath flowing and bringing the hand down. Going to open our blocks out so the hands can ground. So we're stepping back to down dog, but if you want, go back to 3-legged dog, taking the leg all the way up behind and then floating the foot back down to the floor. Pressing the thighs firmly back, softening shoulders away from the ears. Ready with the right leg. As you inhale, raising the leg up. And then using the momentum as you swing that knee forwards and through. Knee over ankle. Blocks coming back in. Squeezing the thighs in. Finding the stability through a firm press of your feet. Coming now to the twist on the right side, so the left block moving in a little, right hand to the lower back, drawing the hips in as you turn towards the right side, raising the arm up if comfortable. And then bringing the hand down, we'll come back to our 3-legged dog, taking the blocks out, let the foot go up and back like a tail, and then bringing the right foot down, both thighs pressing back. And from here we're going to walk our feet towards our hands. Hi, Bob. So once you're ready, stepping the feet forwards, moving towards the hands, taking your blocks again so that you can extend your body forwards, rocking the weight of the hips towards being over the heels, so the weight is a bit more towards the front of the feet, allowing the spine to lengthen. Remember, don't push back in the knee joint if you're very flexible in the knee. Knees can be as much bent as you need, but you're always making sure if you're very flexible in the knee joint that it's not being overly pushed open in the back. From here we're going to relax into full forward bend, Uttanasana. If you want to use your blocks alongside the feet, you can. Or taking the blocks out of the way and let the hands come to the ground. Allow the body to relax, the head and neck to soften. And from here we're going to allow the body to slowly roll up. So sinking into the knees, press the feet, vertebrae by vertebrae, rolling up through the spine as you stand tall, raising the arms. Let the shoulders soften away from the ears, spread through the fingers, pressing into the feet, allowing the body to stand tall and strong. And then bringing the arms back down to your side. Just having a moment to roll the shoulders around and back. Just letting go of all that tension in the shoulders. And closing the eyes for a moment, having an awareness on the breath, the sensations of the body. So allowing the eyes to flutter open once again. And then we're going to turn on the mat if you're not in the full length, as I will do. Or you might like to turn the mat so you can still see. So we're going to have the feet at hip width apart. And if you wanted to use the blocks, having them behind your heels so that the heel is at least at the front edge of the mat. We're going to hold the pelvis and step the right foot back behind. So it doesn't have to be a very wide distance. Want to stay stable, so making sure the right foot isn't behind the left foot and it's slightly turned outwards. So we're going to come into a position called Uttanasana, pyramid pose. We let the tail lengthen down so the lower abdomen lifts, holding the pelvis, the elbows drawing back, pressing the feet and folding forwards towards the ground. Bringing our blocks there for support if we need. So it's good to use the blocks to help come into an extended position, because from here we're going to come to parivrtta Trikonasana, a revolving triangle pose. So we let the shoulders soften away from the ears, gently lifting the back of the pelvis a little up so the top of the pelvis moves down, which helps to move the ribs a little closer towards the front leg. Just be careful you're not overly pressing into that back, the front knee, that you're not pressing into the back of the front knee, and on your left foot that you're still keeping the press of your inner foot maintained. And just imagining all the triangles in the body, the triangles between your legs, between the upper body and the front leg, finding all those pyramids. So sometimes we lengthen into the full position, but I'm just going to get you here to work in an extended position, as when we come to our revolving triangle, it's it's always important with twists that we're keeping the body as lengthened as possible so that it's not contorting in the spine. So keeping the thighs drawing in, we're now going to begin to move to parivrtta Trikonasana. If it's too strong for you, feel free to stay as you are. So we're going to take the right hand to our left block and the left hand to the lower back. And keeping the squeeze of the thigh bone so the pelvis stays stable, begin to revolve the left shoulder up. Finding length in the twist. Now that might be enough of a position for you, so in which case just keeping the hand where you are. If you wanted, you can raise the arm, extending through the fingers, extending through the palm. Now it can be common to hold the breath, so make sure you don't hold the breath here, just keeping the breath smooth and steady, face soft, shoulders relaxed. And we've got a funny little way to come out of this position. So at the moment our body is twisting towards our left side. We're going to let the arms windmill to twist us to stand looking to the right. So you might want to watch first. So as you inhale, you're pivoting around, opening the arms like a helicopter, and then bringing the hands back down. We'll step the feet back towards each other and coming back to parallel through the feet at hip width. Let the fingers reach down. Take a moment with the eyes closed to focus on your breath. Finding the centering in Uttanasana, mountain pose. And then we'll bring the hands back to the hips. And this time we're going to be stepping our left foot backwards. So allowing the foot to slightly turn, the right foot pointing forwards. We just arrange the hips. So if you imagine they're like headlights, that the headlights are pointing to the top end of the mat. Squeezing the thighs in, let the tail lengthen down so the lower belly lifts. Bringing the elbows back, shoulders releasing down the back. Nice long spine, lengthening forwards. Bringing the hands into the blocks. Making sure the front foot, the right foot, that the inner foot is pressing firmly down to the ground. Spine lengthening away from the pelvis. Shoulders softening away from the ears. And again, particularly if you find that your upper back really lifts up, then thinking of that cow pose that we did at the beginning, where you gently tip the top of your pelvis downwards. And that can help to soften the rib cage towards that front leg. Let the face relax, just finding the steadiness of the breath. So we're going to take a couple more breaths here in Uttanasana, pyramid pose. And then from here, we'll come to our Revolving Triangle, parivrtta Trikonasana. So we're going to take the left hand over to the right block, the right hand to the hip. Make sure the thigh bones are really squeezing in, and then begin to revolve towards the right side. And if it's comfortable, raising the arm up. And then we're going to use our helicopter again. So we're looking to the right side as we inhale, helicoptering round to the left side and bringing the hands back down. We'll step the feet back towards the front of the mat. You can move the blocks to one side. Standing with the feet at hip width, we'll inhale the arms up. Exhale, folding towards the legs. As you inhale, bring the fingertips just beneath the knees to lengthen. Exhale, release fingertips down, or if you prefer, holding the elbows, letting the shoulders lift away from the ears so that the neck can lengthen and release, to relax and soften down through the head, softening the face. And then we're going to bend into the knees, grounding the hands, stepping the feet back behind, pressing the thighs firmly back, softening the shoulders. Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward dog. And then slowly lowering the knees down to the floor, bringing the knees wide, pressing the hips back, forward to child's pose. So taking a few more breaths here. And then on an inhalation, we'll move the shoulders forwards. And we'll take the hips to one side. And from here we'll roll down to be upon the back. So sitting with the feet at hip width apart, and if you need a bit of support for the back, have your hands to the floor. That can help if you've got weakness in the abdomen or lower back. If you want to challenge the abdominals more, reaching the fingers forwards, and then using the exhalation to gently roll yourself back towards the ground. Lovely. And then settling the body to the floor. So you might just want to move your heels a little bit closer. Just letting the arms comfortably rest from the body, so the palms facing up. Let the nose slightly tip towards your chest so the neck is long, and allowing the eyes to close. So taking a moment to be fully with your breath, being aware of the ground beneath your body, using your exhalations to thoroughly relax the body in towards the ground. And then we're going to keep the head on the floor, but use the breath to roll the head from side to side. So as you exhale, rolling the right ear towards the ground. Inhale, coming back to be back on the back of the head. And exhale, rolling the left ear towards the floor. And inhale, back to center. And going one more time, rolling to the right. Inhale, rolling to the left. Bringing the head back to center. And then we'll move the knees from side to side. So the knees are like windscreen wipers. And bringing the knees back to center. Let the heels come into towards the buttocks so that the heels are more now under the knees and the feet are in a parallel position. We'll come into a moving bridge to bring an openness through the front of the body. So pressing firmly into the soles of the feet, and as you inhale, raising the body up, lifting through the pelvis. And then when you're ready, raising the arms over the head. And then vertebrae by vertebrae from the upper back down, lowering back down to the floor. Once the pelvis is down, bringing the arms back to your side. And inhale, moving the hips up, lifting up through the back. Exhale, and then inhale the arms over your head. And as you exhale, slowly lowering the body back down, vertebrae by vertebrae. Inhale and exhale, bringing the arms down. This time we'll move both arms and legs up at the same time and holding there, really pressing into the feet, lifting the lower buttock up to help open through the front of the body, lengthening the thighs from the hips down to the outer knees, drawing the shoulders down to help open through your chest and sternum, face soft, jaw relaxed, pressing into the feet, finding a point where the breath and the position unify, feeling comfortable with the breathing. Holding for a few more breaths, finding that openness through the body, length through the abdominals, releasing any tension in the abdominal area. Great massage for the thyroid and parathyroid glands situated in the throat, helping to stimulate those which regulate our hormone metabolism. And then we'll slowly, vertebrae by vertebrae, bring the back down to the floor once again. And then slowly lowering the arms down. Taking a moment to thoroughly soften through the back of the waistline so the lower back feels long against the ground. And then we'll bring the knees up towards the body and gently rock from side to side to give a massage to the muscles through the lower back. And then bringing the knees back to center, we'll open the knees wide and make two large circles with the knees to mobilize into the hip area. And and then going in the opposite direction. And again, bringing the knees in, having a good squeeze. Let the arms and legs lengthen up towards the sky, soften the shoulders down, and rotating into both wrists and ankles to immobilize those joints. Just like oiling into your car, bringing oil there to keep everything mobile. Fluidity, the stimulation of the synovial fluid, which is what lubricates your joints. Going in the opposite direction. And then bringing the legs together, flexing the feet, holding the back of your thighs, shoulders releasing down. And seeing if you can bring the legs just a little closer towards you. You don't have to go too far, just whatever feels comfortable. If you wanted to bring a challenge to the abdominals, taking a breath in as you exhale, draw the navel to the spine, and then on your next inhalation, lifting up towards the legs. Softening the head back, particularly if the neck feels tight. Great for lengthening into your lower back and helping to release any lower back tension. And then let the body soften down, bring the knees back in, and we'll let the feet come down to the floor, and we'll finish with a rotation. I'm just going to slightly turn myself to the side to make it a little easier to see. So we're going to off-center our hips. Our arms are out to the side in a T shape with the palms facing up. So we're going to press the feet and lift our hips a little off the floor so our bottom is up. Now we're going to swing it to the right side, bringing it down. And then once the hips are down, we lift our feet a little, knees going to the opposite side, the left side, keeping the right shoulder firm to the floor. Finding the smoothness in your breath. So we'll take 3 more steady breaths here. And then slowly rolling the knees back to center. Once the knees are back to center, bringing the hips back. So I think I was reversing it for you visually, so I believe next time our hips are going to the left and the knees to the right. So it might have looked as though I was going the other way to you, as normally I reverse the instruction to the way I'm going. So we'll press the feet, lift the hips up, swinging the hips now to the left side, bringing the hips down, lift feet, and let the knees go to the right side, keeping the right shoulder the left shoulder firm to the ground. Just finding the steadiness of the breath, let the eyes close, relaxing into the face. steady breaths here. So finding the smoothness of the breath. Once you've completed your 3 breaths, then slowly moving the knees back up towards the sky, pressing the feet to move the hips back to center, and once again bringing the knees in towards the body, having a good squeeze of the knees, gently rocking from side to side, giving a lovely massage to the lower back, making any last movements that you might like before we set ourselves in a moment into Shavasana, our relaxation pose. So once you're ready, let the feet come back down to the floor. Now if your lower back's tight, you might prefer to keep feet flat rather than extending legs. If it's okay for your back, let the legs extend. Allow the heels to roll to their outer edges so the legs are fully relaxing. The arms moving away from the body just enough so the palms can face up. And by all means, if you want a blanket under the head for a little elevation of the head, or a pillow or bolster under the knee, which can help soften the lower back, please feel free to do so. I will be coming to a seated position, as it will be easier for me to talk that through for your relaxation. And by all means, if you wanted to come and sit in a meditation position rather than a relaxation pose, then feel free to do that as well. So allowing the eyes to close. Allow the legs to be fully heavy towards the ground. So it feels as though they're flowing away from the body. Complete softness in the pelvis. So all those large leg muscles can just completely release and allow the legs to fully relax towards the ground. Let the shoulders soften in towards the floor, completely letting go of any tension in the shoulders. So as the shoulders relax, the arms can flow away from the body, becoming completely relaxed, softening into the hands and the fingers. And then being aware that the ground is there supporting your torso, supporting your spine. So you can allow all the muscles in the back to completely relax, so that the front of the body can soften into the back of the body that's softening into the ground. Allow the back of the head to completely release towards the floor. And by releasing the weight of the head, then the neck muscles can fully relax, the lining of the throat can soften. Bringing a softness all around the eyes, relaxing into your jaw, letting the mouth soften. And then you might like to place the awareness of the breath in your abdomen, a quiet, gentle area of the body. And as you rest the awareness there, following the gentle flow of your breath. Observing how the body, the belly naturally rises and falls as you organically breathe, and with the breath become more and more relaxed. If the mind begins to wander, don't be disheartened. The mind naturally receives the thoughts, deals with the information around. But just to give yourself this space, if you realize the mind has begun to wander, just quickly let the thought go and come back again to the breath. Allowing the mind and the body this time to completely relax. And then beginning to make the breath a little deeper, bringing some vital energy back with the strengthening of the inhalation. The inhalation helping us to wake up and become more alerted again. And once you're ready, allow the knees to gently bend one at a time to flatten the feet onto the floor or the bolster or cushion, so the lower back can lengthen more into the ground. And then when you're ready, softly rolling yourself over to your right side and pausing to that right side, taking a moment to focus on some steady breaths. And once you feel ready, using your hands to gently push into the ground to lift yourself back up into a seated position. And once you've come back to a seated position, let the hands rejoin, closing into the eyes. And if you made an intention, you might like to take a moment to focus upon your intention now before we conclude, powering that with the energy of our asanas, our breath, everything that we've cultivated for ourselves here today, the well-being. May you take that on with you through your day and on. I hope you've enjoyed yourself here today. Thank you so much. Namaste.